Is learning the English language your toughest challenge yet? Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.
Hi, someone has reported a fault on one of your copiers.
That's right. I'm glad you're here. It hasn't been working properly for the last few days.
When was it serviced?
Just a couple of weeks ago. It's usually very reliable.
What's actually wrong with it?
Well, it's making a strange noise when we try to change paper trays.
I'm sure it's nothing serious, probably just a minor fault. I'll have a look at it.
Madam, I made a close study of the draft contract yesterday evening. I think there are something needs to modify.
Which terms?
First, about the terms of payment. Your draft contract says that payment is to be made by D.A. This is not our practice. We prefer to have the payment made by L.C. through a negotiating bank in America.
Good. I will add this to the contract.
The second thing I would like to point out, that is packaging. It's stipulated in the contract that all the computer parts should be packed in cardboard boxes. But I think the wooden cases are much safer.
Well, you are right. Is there anything else?
As far as the contract stipulations are concerned, there is nothing more. Thank you very much.
Well, we have agreed on all the major points.
I was surprised to see how few people you have on site. You provide a wide range of goods and services but have a very small workforce.
It depends on the time of year. At peak times we hire in casual workers to help with packing and dispatch. We also contract out certain services all year round, for example, cleaning. We run a very tight operation.
Do you handle the recruiting yourselves?
Sometimes we use a local employment agency. It depends on the job.
Mr. Dick, does the recommendation of the university play an important role?
Yes. In fact, the recommendation letter written by the university is an indirect self-recommendation. In the long period of cooperation, the university has established good relationship with the companies or organizations. They trust each other well. If your university recommends you, you can be approved more easily.
But I find that most of the recommendation letters written by universities are the same. So I doubt its authority.
More and more persons have the same discoveries since most universities do that in order to save energy. If your university also does like this, you can look for other methods, because such kinds of recommendations say nothing for you.
Could you tell me whether or not I send out my resume with it?
It depends. If it has something special or useful, I suggest you send it out. This is our submission of tender, which includes the information about volume of the project, the cost and so on.
Okay, we'll see it.
What kind of guarantee are you going to provide for us?
We can provide you with standby letter of credit established by Bank of China.
Should we pay earnest money?
Yes, you are supposed to pay it on time. If you don't furnish a tender bond on time, your tender will not be considered. Besides, you also should provide detailed engineering of the good.
Where do we submit the tender?
To our office, which is on the 3rd floor.
Oh, I see. By the way, is tender opening done publicly?
Yes. All the bidders will be invited to join us to supervise the tender opening.
And are the prices stated in the US dollar?
Yes, so far as we know, in the field. Your company has lots of experience and we hope you will consider the tender seriously.
Okay, we will. Bye.
Bye.
What do you think we need to do to get our new branch office running well?
First, I'd make sure that we have a good, local, corporate lawyer. He or she will know all the local laws and regulations.
That's very important. A friend recommended a good law firm to me. We'll need someone to hire staff.
I think that we should send one of our HR people to do that. I don't think we should use an agency, because they won't be familiar with the type of people we employ. Have we decided on the location of?
Yes, we have. We chose the location in the northeast of the city, not too far from the airport and on the edge of the CBD.
Why didn't we choose an office in the CBD?
The offices there were too expensive. Have we negotiated any contracts yet?
Yes. We've signed 2 contracts with companies that we already do work for in other countries. We hope to sign another 3 this month.
When will the branch office open?
Hopefully next month. Everything is a little rushed. We should be able to set up our branch office and expand our business quickly.
Has an advertising campaign been prepared?
Yes, it has. We're going to target the business community through business magazines.
I made plenty of business contract on my last visit and through the embassy. We should be able to get plenty of customers. Where are you employed?
I have been employed as a secretary at a trading company.
What do you think of your present job?
I find it interesting.
How do you get to office?
I go to the office by bus every day.
What does your work consist of exactly?
My main responsibility is troubleshooting between top management and the general employees.
Would you mind working overtime at night?
No, often my boss requires overtime work.
How much money are you making a month?
5,000 yuan a month.
Why do you plan to change your job?
I would like to have a job that is more lively than my present one. Besides, I would like to practice my English in my work. As my present employer deals with China trade towards China only, there isn't much chance to speak English.
What qualities do you think a business manager should possess?
Creativity. The ability to organize. The entrepreneur's spirit. Comprehensive knowledge of human studies. Ability of gathering information. Expert competence of communication and deep professional skills.
If a client complains about the service of your department, what will you do?
If I'm in the service center, I'll listen to the client patiently, and accept the criticism objectively. Then I will have the claim reasonably settled.
Do you know the restrictions about the carry-on items for exiting?
Yes, you can take small sum of money and important items such as passport and keys and business documents and so on.
What are the things that are forbidden to take in departure?
There is a long list of those things forbidden, including explosives, gum opium and precious cultural relics and so on.
Tell me about yourself and your past experience.
For the past 3 years, I have been working in China East Airlines Corporation Limited. I'm very tolerant of people and have been told that this is one of my strengths. I feel I have a lot to offer as a team member.
Why are you interested in this occupation?
It's always been my dream to be a stewardess. And I like traveling to different places.
What do you think is the chief characteristic for a stewardess?
Well, a stewardess should be friendly, courteous, patient and treat passengers kindly and politely.
Do you get angry easily?
No, I know how to control my temper.
If a passenger had an accident, what would you do?
I would give him or her basic first aid and ask my partner to call for assistance at the same time.
If you are hired, when can you start work?
I can begin to work right away because I am out of work now.
What are your salary expectations?
I really need more information about the job before we start to discuss salary. I'd like to postpone that discussion until later. Maybe you could tell me what is budgeted for the position and how your commission structure works.
Excuse me. My name is Richard Davis of Magic Office Supplies. I'm here to see Mr. Chen.
Yes. He's waiting for you in his office. This way, please.
Should I tell Ed that I have found a job?
Is this a temporary job or something more permanent?
What difference does it make?
When you get your next continued claim form, you should just write down where you worked and note that you no longer need unemployment.
If I take a short job and then get laid off, will I be starting over trying to get unemployment?
Just because you work for a week doesn't mean that you will be losing your benefits.
John, I have to say I was bothered by the way you handled the meeting today.
How so? I thought it went fine.
I think it would have been better if you had given us more of a chance to give our opinions.
I'm sorry. I thought we were all pretty much in agreement.
Most of our customers are foreigners. How many foreign languages can you speak, Elizabeth?
2. French and Spanish.
And how well can you speak them?
Well, French was my best subject at school. I can read and write it pretty well.
And how about your Spanish?
Well, it's not as good as my French. I can speak it reasonably well, but my written Spanish isn't very good.
I see. Well, we have a lot of Spanish customers, but you wouldn't need to write any Spanish here.
In that case, I'm fit for the position, I think.
I was looking for the resume writing workshop.
You came to the right spot. Come on in and join us.
I am not really sure that I remember how to even put a resume together.
I am here to show you how to put together the perfect resume. It will turn out great.
How do we get started?
We need to put our name and contact information across the top.
Then what?
You can list your education at the top, or choose your job experience to be there if it is more impressive.
Could I list my interests and special skills next?
I think that would work out quite well as an ending for your resume.
Greg, I want to speak to you for a minute.
Yes, Ms. Gray. Is there something wrong?
I'm afraid there is, Greg. I don't mind you taking a break. But you've been away from your desk for 25 minutes already.
I'm sorry, Ms. Gray. I must have lost track of the time. I'll get back to work, now.
Our mission is to help you learn the English language. We have created easy-to-follow, free educational materials for those seeking knowledge of English.